The physical changes in this city are exciting and fairly easy to see. The cultural changes are less visible, but just as exciting. We are no longer in the beginning stages, but a couple of steps down the road toward creating a more pedestrian-friendly community. We are starting to create a city for people as opposed to cars. We are also in the beginning stages of a cultural shift in the way we view obesity and our health. We have acknowledged we have a problem. We are addressing it. It is now a topic for discussion, and we've determined that it is not okay for a city to have an obesity rate in excess of 25%. Those two cultural changes, creating a pedestrian-friendly environment and addressing our health, are compatible. Cultural changes don't happen quickly. They never happen quickly enough, but if we have enough determination, and I believe we do, we can make these cultural shifts permanent. But today I'm here to tell you that there is also much physical work to be done. And while our momentum is still moving and our position relative to the United States is strong, now is not the time to slow down. So take a deep breath and let's view this city with fresh eyes, concentrating not so much on what we have, but really what we don't have. To begin with, look around this country. From a quality of life perspective, there are two high-profile shortcomings, two areas that we need to address, two areas that would dramatically affect and dramatically help our ascension as a world-class city, our ascension as a city where people want to live. The first is public transportation. The second is a centrally located large public park. Now let me expand on each of these two topics. Providing quality public transportation in Oklahoma City is a difficult task. We were built around the automobile, and as a result, we are all spread out. We don't have the density to do it well. We don't have the density to do it efficiently, so we have a bunch of built-in excuses. We have developed into a city where if you don't own a car, you are out of luck. But if we truly want to progress as a city, we're going to have to do better. Now, I told you that in these addresses before, during the 5 years that I've been in office, I have used this platform to push the conversation about public transit forward. And today I am here to tell you that we have arrived at a position where we can take another step. And I urge each of you to check out the Fixed Guideway Study. The Fixed Guideway Study provides a blueprint for a 21st century transit system. It can be found on the internet at okfgs.org. And on the screen here, this is a live picture of the website and what you would see if you went there, and staff will be clicking around so you get an idea and get more comfortable with the site. But fully implemented, this calls for a greatly enhanced bus system, including bus rapid transit, and there are also light rail and downtown streetcar components. The blueprint is complete. Now, you may recall a couple of years ago, we spent, about 18 months on this study. We now know that we've got enough information to get started, and there are a lot of places for public transit that we can start, but the key is that we get started. Not so much for today, because we're not in a public transit crisis, but transit programs take years, if not decades, to fully implement. Most cities wait until their highways are congested, until they're at gridlock, before they begin to take action. Our city has a history of planning for the future, and now's the time to get started. It's going to take vision from each and every one of us. When gas is affordable and traffic runs smoothly, it can be difficult to gather support for public transit. I will need your help. The large central park in the Core to Shore project is also critical to our city's future. It's also necessary in our ability to adapt to the relocation of Interstate 40. You'll remember a year ago in this State of the City address, I showed you the first conceptual pictures of what the Core to Shore project could be. Now, since then, you've probably seen these pictures in other places, and you've probably followed the announcement of really what is our first signature project of Core to Shore, the Oklahoma City Skydance pedestrian bridge that will go over the new I-40. We've never built anything like this before. Not in Oklahoma City. And this bridge will become an iconic image for the millions of motorists who pass through our city. And let this be the first signal that we are serious about core to shore. And let it also serve notice that we are raising the standards for design in this city. But there is much more to core to shore. The core to shore plan is the result of a large and inclusive civic planning process. It illustrates the benefits of building a large central park that connects downtown, the core of downtown really, to the shore of the Oklahoma River. Also central to core to shore is the at-grade boulevard that will very soon replace the current I-40 alignment. Now, this boulevard is not going to be just an ordinary street to take you from point A to point B. This boulevard is an opportunity for us to create one of the most special streets in the United States. This whole opportunity comes to us because of the relocation of Interstate 40. That relocation will remove the physical barrier that has separated downtown from the river and everything else in between. Now, we have the opportunity that very few cities ever get. We have the opportunity to create a new urban center just blocks from our central business district. The parks and the boulevard are the linchpins, and they serve as the catalyst for future retail, future housing, and the potential for a convention center, which I'll discuss in a moment. A fully programmed urban park that ties the myriad gardens and retail development along the new boulevard could be yet another eye-popping signal that Oklahoma City is moving forward. And when you combine it with a public transit system that we can be proud of, a citywide sidewalk program that is already under construction, and a growing trend toward density in the inner city, the park can be another giant step forward towards creating this pedestrian-friendly community that we desire. The timeline is doable. Keep in mind, the interstate should be relocated in 2012, and then the resulting boulevard that will take the place of the current alignment of Interstate 40 should be ready about 2014. So the park needs to be ready about that time, about 5 years from now. But like an expansion of public transit, the park is not currently funded. Together, better public transit and the creation of the Core to Shore Park are significant quality of life amenities. You have heard me say before that nothing is as powerful as an idea whose time has come. And I suggest for transit and for the Core to Shore Park, that time has come. The